If you're as unfortunate as us and this breaks, this is what you have to do.
Hello everyone and welcome to Southdown Garage. If you've clicked on this video, you know why you've clicked on this video. Because you had a little oopsie daisy with DF fluid pump for your Powerstroke Ford pickup truck. When we work on stuff, sometimes stuff happens. And apparently so many people have this issue that there's a company that makes this exact part. So you don't have to spend $300 on a new pump. If you're a super mechanic that never makes any mistakes, you're probably not watching this video. And if you've never turned wrenches and you're sitting on your couch and you think I'm an idiot, I don't care. But if you're a humble person just like most of us, accidents happen, and the company has found that so many accidents happen that they made this part. So you can follow along and learn how not to do this, so potentially you won't be in this situation. However, if for some weird reason you had a small hiccup like I did, where you lowered the tank out, you probably watched the video on how to do it properly. I'm not going to show you how to do it properly because I can't. So that link is up here. They do make a great video, and if
you suspend your social insurance number on an immediate basis because your social has been found suspicious for some illegal and criminal activities.
I already know this, so let's go through what happened and how you can protect yourself if you're doing this job. I would probably recommend just paying the money and ordering this ahead of time if you're going to do this job, just to save you the hassle. Unfortunately for me, I had some other issues because of the flooding and all that stuff. So this part is made in Ontario, Canada, and they will ship. And they're pretty quick, unless of course you have a natural disaster that closes the main highway in and out of your town, and then it's going to take a little bit longer like it happened with me. So let's get down to it. Let's get out there. We're going to show you how I got to this position, and then we're going to show you how to fix it, because that is the key in this video. So follow along, humble folks.
If you're as unfortunate as us and this breaks, this is what you have to do. So you have to get this cleaned right off. So you're gonna have to get this off, and we will have to clean that up, get some sandpaper. You're gonna order this kit, whatever that says. It comes from Ontario, Canada, and basically what it is, it's another nipple with a tube in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to apply all the adhesive to the bottom.
It could have been a sturgeon.
Trying to keep any adhesive away from this tube because you don't want to block this, and then we'll install this into this hole and then put this onto here. We have to push it all down and then let it set for 6 hours. Take this tube out after 6 hours, and then it has to sit for 24 hours. They give you sandpaper in the kit so you can do this, but we already cleaned this and scuffed it beforehand. Of course, we had JB Weld on here before because we tried to fix. We've drilled a hole that was big enough for this barbed end to go onto, but stop and not proceed past. Super glued it in, and then JB Weld all the way around to hold this in place. It did not work. So this is the backup to the backup.
I think the nipple was too small.
It was too small. Yeah, the nipple was too small. Just so you know, vacuum tees are not the same thing for these, okay? Now we just gotta put this together and then make a smushy. All right, so we've got this all over it. We put more than it recommended, so I'm sure this is going to be an issue. Oh dear. And we're going to squeeze it down.
Okay, so now that you have put this on and waited 6 hours, you're going to have to remove this rod. You may have to use pliers in order to do this properly. There we go. Now let's flash forward to 24 hours later when this is all done. So first 6 hours, take this out. 24 hours, let's test it again. So I'm gonna say right about there is below that feed input. There's probably a screen in here. You want to be careful. Oh dear. Okay, so you see how it went up to where we were before. So it's showing that this is way down in here. Now we know that's all good. We know the hole is clear. We know fluid can come out. Carefully. Okay, now let's go ahead, put this back on the DEF housing. We'll bolt this back in place. We're gonna get this back into the truck. I'm gonna have to jack the rear axle off the ground to slide the whole housing and everything in there. You probably don't want to have DEF in there. When you pull this out originally, make sure you drain all the fluid that's in there. I found a lot of little bits and pieces from the filler. There were those little rubber duckbill pieces that allow it to flow when you're filling your DEF fluid up. So I found a bunch of those in the bottom of the tank. So you want to make sure you drain it out, make sure that everything is clean before you get to this step. But now that we're here, you've got the heater back in there, everything is good, it's back together. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to install this, and then we're going to take everything outside and put it back in the truck. You guys are probably not going to have the tool I have to test this to make sure there's no leaks. I tested already when I did that temporary fix. Don't do that temporary fix, it doesn't work. Just get this piece. So I'm going to put it in, we're going to bolt everything up in place loosely, and then I'm going to test this with my scanner to make sure we have no leaks. And if we have no leaks, everything's going to get bolted back up and we're going to be completely fine. Normally this job should take about 2 hours, or let's say 4 hours, because most of us want to be as careful as possible so you don't have this happen. So now that it's a week later, we're going to get this back in and finally get my dad's truck back running. Okie dokie. So we got this back together. We got all of the bolts tightened up. Use the new O-rings that come with the kit. Alright, so the truck is jacked up so I can slide this under. Unfortunately, I have a bottle of DEF in here, so it's not going to be super light. Oh, I think I have to go up higher. Okay, that's in. You want to make sure you're wearing gloves because this stuff is ridiculous toxic. I'm gonna stuff that over there and then slide this back there. We can start getting this up in the. You probably want a hand, but my hand drove away with my car, so I'm gonna do this by myself. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Good. This is the connector you want. So there's a connector over here. You're going to connect to this, and then you're going to slide this other piece over the nipple. We're going to slide this piece on to there. Boom. Oh, that's way better than before. And then I'm going to fight this into place without dropping this so I don't damage nothing. That's up there. We've got the scanner hooked up. I know you guys are probably not going to have something like this, but I'm going to show you how this can work. Okay, so we already plugged into this thing before to test it. Okay, functional tests. We're going to go down here. We select the catalytic reduction, go down to visual leak check. It will perform a test. It will turn everything on. Now it's going to fire up everything. So we want to see if we have any leaks. As we did before, we had fluid leaking down the side of this. So this is telling us right now if we are half decent at our job. So before you could see it just running down the side. I don't see that right now. So it probably means that we did okay. That makes me happy. No leaks, no fluid dropping on the ground. So we're just gonna let it finish. It's pressurizing. But now you guys know, if you're doing this fix, this does work. We'll finish up with this, and then we're gonna finish mounting everything in place and go from there. We've got everything hooked up. You've finished bolting everything in place. The next thing you want to do is go back, and then anybody can do this. I just showed you that the system will work if you use this patch kit. So you don't need an expensive scanner like I have, because I know you're probably going to be like, dude, like I don't have that. I get it. I'm just showing you, if you do this with that kit that we used, it won't leak if you do it right. So now, of course, we still have some codes. So one thing we have to do, or we have to clear the codes, and then we have to drive it and see if any new ones come back. Of course, anybody who has a code reader could clear these, and then you have to drive it to make sure that all your settings come back and all that stuff, because you want to be able to use your remote start and all that with these trucks, and it won't work if you have a check engine light. So no lights. Heck yes. Hopefully this video is helpful, guys. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Southdown Garage.